All right, it's time for another weekly Squardle. This is puzzle number 198. If you're not familiar with Squardle, it's like Wordle on a grid. We got some row and a column at the same time. This 8 is how many guesses we have remaining, and today's Valentine's Day, so let's start with heart. Why not? Okay, we have an E and a T, or an A and a T in both the row and the column. There's an E, well, also in the row and the column, but in the first row and the second column. So the second column, we don't have much to go off of. There is an E in the row. But let's go with some new letters. How about ooh, what do we want to do though? My first thought was something like scout or scour or scowl. We could do scowl with a W, sure. Wow. No S or L. Okay. Well, we found an O. There's another O here. I mean, it could be a double O here. There's no real reason it couldn't be. We don't really have anything else to go off of other than, so let's do something with an O in the middle and some new letters, ideally. We could do T to start. We do have a T in the row and the column, the first row and column. So that's not bad. Let's do T, what? We could do T-R-O. We need to find some R's. That's not bad. T-R-O. But then I'm thinking trowel, which isn't any good, obviously. Trope? That's not terrible. Let's go for it. Okay. The T's were good. The T's were good. The R is interesting. So there's an R in the second row, but it's not first, third, or fourth. And there's an R in the second and third columns, but not first. In fact, this third column, there's an R. It's not first, second, third, or fourth. This is a definite R. Okay, and then in this one, there's an R. It's not first, third, or fourth. Second or fifth. Now, we could do a double R down here. Otherwise, but there's not. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, there is an A, but we can't do arrow because there's no W. So I'm thinking R here. It's either that or it's down here and it's right there. So I'm thinking this. I like this. There is an O. It's not second or oh, so this is a definite O too, because we've got the R definitely. Okay, so that's the O and the R. So we've got T something something O-R. Tenor is possible. We've got the E here. It's not bad. That's not bad. We've got T-O-N here. Tonga. No, there's no A. There's no E either, so it can't be like toner or something. Tone. I don't know. It's not necessarily an N. All right, we're on the fourth one here. We've got very little to go off of. We do know this is an O, but we know this isn't an O. No, we don't know that isn't an O. That could be an O. There could be another O. But let's do. Man, what do we want to do? We could do A. We've got an A in the row and the column. Among isn't bad. M, N, and G are new letters. Let's go for it. Okay. I don't hate that. The M and the O, that was good. Now the A is looking like it's probably up here. In fact, we could do aroma. That's good. We've got the T's. We need an E somewhere in here. We could do an E down here. E-A-R. Earn. But we can't do an S. Ooh, E here could be good too. Emote or something. Emote. That's not bad. Tenor, airy. Ooh, what's this? A-R. E. This isn't necessarily an A. But the problem is, if it's not there, if this is aroma, then this almost has to be an A. Because you're not going to do a double A. I mean, this could be this. No, this can't be another A. Arena. We can do arena with an A there. We can't do an A here. But we can do arena. And what is this? T-O-N something. An I. We haven't done I yet. Tonic. Tonic. What do we know about C? We guessed a C. Where did we guess a C? Oh, right up here. There's the C. There's the C right there. Okay, I knew we had a C clue somewhere. So yeah, tonic. Tonic could be good. And then we could do an ED or an ER. Feels like this is probably an E then. ER, ED, something like this. Dared is possible. There's a lot of possibilities up here. But this is interesting. The NITE, unite. Do we have a? We haven't done a U. Okay. Maced, datum, dated, and dared. I mean, that's certainly possible. Let's. It's gonna take 5 guesses no matter what, even if these are right at this point, and we know that because since we haven't done this column here. The only way to get the D, if it is a D, is the first row or column guess. The only way to get the R is on the second row or column. Some of these, like the E here, you could get with the third column or the second row, but the diagonal can only be with the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So we have to do all of them. So let's just do maced. Dated, okay. Aroma, tenor, let's guess the right word, and we will unite around the solution. Very nice. Ended with a 7th. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I feel good about that. Datum or datum, whatever you want to say. Arena, tonic, emote, dared, dated, aroma, tenor, unite, and maced. All right, and we do have some vaguely Valentine's Day related things there. We've got dated, we've got aroma. You want to smell nice if you're going on a date. You have lots of emotions. You're emoting. You're uniting with people potentially, yeah. So there you go. Well, let me know if you have big plans for Valentine's Day, and either way, let me know how your solve of today's puzzle went. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.